mindset did you agree with more? T'Challa or Killmonger? Let's dive deeper into that.
Killmonger was right. Everybody called Killmonger a villain, but go back and really listen to what he was saying. He wasn't trying to burn the world for fun. He was trying to free it. He saw black people struggling all around the world, and he asked, why should Wakanda stay hidden while we suffer? He wasn't mad for no reason. His dad was killed, his people left him behind, and all he inherited was pain. Yeah, he was violent, but that anger came from truth. He didn't hate Wakanda. He hated being left out of it. He didn't want to destroy home. He wanted to belong. Maybe he went too far, but ask yourself this. If you lived his life, would you have done anything different?
Growing up is realizing that these villains were not misunderstood. They were villains.
Nah, because let's talk about it. That boy Killmonger is a devil. He slapped an elderly black woman. He killed his black girlfriend. Then in other multiverses, he killed T'Challa. Killed Tony Stark, but I do understand why. And then he killed War Machine. That was just a black man doing his business. I understand the by any means necessary ideology, but why are you killing your own people? And then he also almost caused multiversal destruction. If that's not a villain, then I don't know what it is.
Y'all sitting up here comfortable. Must feel good. It's about 2 billion people all over the world that looks like us, but their lives are a lot harder. Wakanda has the tools to liberate them all.
Christ's love isn't like everybody else's love. It's not like the world's love. The world's love loves you when you do things right or when you do things with them. But as soon as you make a mistake, they take that love away. But what I've experienced with the love of Christ is that it loves first. It loves through wrongdoing. It loves when you shouldn't be loved anymore. It's unconditional. And that's the love that I believe is going to change the world and has changed me.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Micaiah. I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black.
Sasha here. Excuse me? Supermodels do not fly business class. Now, I'm not going to demand a private jet, but I think Jag could at least spring for first class.
Today, I am bringing you all another video diving into the Black Panther realm. Whose mindset did you agree with more? T'Challa or Killmonger? Let's dive deeper into that. But before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see more of me. And if you're new, hey, and if you're a returner, I really, truly appreciate the love. I don't take it for granted for you all clicking on this video. So I thank you, and I thank you. For all who are new, you should know I do an array of topics. I am extremely diverse. I love more nerdy topics. I love nostalgic topics. And I love touching on more conscious topics that provide more depth. And I dibble and dabble with vlogs. So if you're interested in any of those realms or in any of those spaces, then you'll most definitely love it over here. And if you get the chance to check out my social media platforms down within the description box where I display my passion for fashion. So without further ado, let's get into the video. This is one of the most profound questions presented in Black Panther, as both T'Challa and Killmonger embody legitimate yet contrasting truths. Let's analyze both perspectives deeper. The conflict between T'Challa and Killmonger was not a matter of right or wrong. It centered on achieving balance. Killmonger accurately highlighted the suffering of the diaspora and pressing need for resistance. T'Challa, on the other hand, correctly identified the path to resolution. Liberation achieved through wisdom rather than through oppression. Killmonger's perspective. The suffering of oppression. Killmonger represents centuries of trauma experienced by the African diaspora, including slavery, colonization, and systematic racism. His rage is deeply anchored in actual historical events and the pain passed down through generations. Call to action. He desired Wakanda to utilize its resources to free and equip oppressed Black individuals across the globe. To him, remaining neutral was an act of betrayal. His approaches were harmful. He pursued freedom through control, perpetuating the cycle of oppression he despised. His perspective was devoid of sustainability and empathy. T'Challa's perspective, the burden of duty. As the monarch, T'Challa was obligated to prioritize the protection of Wakanda. His foremost concern were maintaining stability and upholding tradition, and ensuring the safety of his citizens. Cautious engagement. Initially, he dismissed Killmonger's extreme views. However, through their confrontation, he came to understand that Wakanda could not remain concealed indefinitely. They had an obligation to assist the world, but through peaceful means and cooperation rather than aggression. His first approach of withdrawal failed to recognize the anguish of others who shared in Wakanda's ancestry. His wariness was based on his privileged status. So, who was right? Killmonger accurately identified the issue. The suffering of the diaspora required recognition, and Wakanda could not overlook it. T'Challa was correct in his approach. Violence and oppression would merely continue the cycle of harm. The resources of Wakanda ought to be distributed, but with prudence and not devastation. Neither individual was entirely correct, nor entirely incorrect. The brilliance of Black Panther lies in its portrayal of how liberation necessitates both the fervor of Killmonger's immediacy and the prudence of T'Challa's composure. So, what can we take away from this? Genuine transformation requires both the intensity of urgency and the tranquility of strategy. So, who was right and who was wrong? As we explore this, we realize that this is not as simple as 1, 2, 3. The perspective may change as you explore the movie more. Your perspective may change after you hear more of my commentary, or your perspective may stay the same. So please leave your thoughts and perspectives on who you feel you are more in alignment with in regards to their ideologic.
You guys already know how huge of a Marvel fan I am. I love Marvel. I love Black Panther, especially Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I've watched Black Panther, I think 15, 16 times. And I've seen this discourse before that the real villain of Black Panther is not Killmonger, but it's T'Challa's dad, T'Chaka. And although I understand where people are coming from, I disagree. I think the real villain in Black Panther is Killmonger's dad, Njobu. Now, before we get into this is my opinion, okay? I think you made a lot of very valid points, but I don't agree with all of your points. And part of the reason why I don't agree with your points is because of my worldview. I studied journalism and media studies, and I learned just how much where a person grows up influences how they think. And a lot of my opinions are based from growing up in Africa. I'm Congolese South African. I was born in South Africa. I grew up in Congo and South Africa. I spent my whole life on the African continent, and it has shaped the way that I see the world. The number one argument that people make when they say that T'Chaka is the actual villain is because, as you put it, he's a murderer who killed his own brother. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I love Atandwa Kani so much. Atandwa Kani played the younger T'Challa, and I feel like he bodied this role. T'Chaka was protecting somebody else's life when he did what he did to Njobu. Are we forgetting this man's crimes? This man was a prince of Wakanda sent in the US as a spy. I don't know what he was spying on, but he was spying on something. Then he fell in love with a woman and he had a son. That's not a crime, okay? But let's list his crimes. Njobu is responsible for sending a well-known racist mercenary he calls black people savages. He's responsible for telling this man about vibranium, then sending him to Wakanda with all the information needed for him to steal vibranium. A mission that resulted in him bombing the border to try to escape and killing Wakabi's parents and dozens of other Wakandans. Njobu committed treason, first of all, by telling Claw about vibranium. Then even more treason by showing Claw where to get the vibranium. Not to mention the fact that now he's directly responsible for the death of dozens of Wakandans. That's why T'Chaka showed up. After dozens of Wakandans died, he wanted his brother to tell him the truth. So when you say that T'Challa is the son of a murderer, so is Killmonger. If anything, Njobu's killed more people than T'Chaka as far as we know, even if it was indirect. And then when he got caught, instead of facing what he did, he tried to unalive Zuri, and then his brother had to step in. Granted, I don't think he had to. I think he could have punched him, you know, the strength of the Black Panther. And then punched him. Even though, but with the strength of the Black Panther, that punch could have also Personally, I feel like he didn't have to unalive him. He could have subdued him in another way. But doesn't change the fact that the problems start with Njobu. And even though you're saying, oh, well, he was doing that to try to set the African Americans free. Yeah, but why didn't he just talk to his brother? He's a prince. We don't even know if he told his brother and his family about Killmonger. We don't know if he was like, hey bro, I fell in love, I have a son now, my son is half American, and I see all these things that are happening to Americans. I feel like as Wakandans, we can't let it go. Please help me out. We don't know if he asked his brother for help in the first place. If he had, maybe the events would have turned out differently. Njobu started all of this, and I think that's the reason why he was never really in the ancestral plane, but he was hidden in his own apartment, because he was responsible for the suffering of many Wakandans.
So I've contemplated both perspectives for a minute now, but I am not an advocate for violence. I don't believe violence is ever the answer. I don't think it's still going to get you the result that you truly want. But I do think I lean more towards T'Challa's perspective after Killmonger changed his mindset about not being complacent and helping those that are also in need when you have those resources. So I understood Killmonger's perspective, but I don't advocate for the violence aspect. And I low-key wish Killmonger could have been around for a longer portion of the series, because I think he could have led a movie. That's my unpopular opinion. And I don't know if they're going to do something around that realm. Sorry if y'all hear my niece. I have my niece here and the content still has to get done. But I thought that would have been cool for him to lead, because I'm not going to lie to you all, I did not like the second Black Panther like that. I feel like it's not the same one without Chadwick Boseman. He was such an iconic actor and character, so I think he did such a great job at what he did, and it just was not the same without him. But I do think if they would have spent it where like Killmonger came back to life or something like that, if he never died, I think that he could have led a movie, because Michael B. Jordan did a great job playing Killmonger. I doubted him, not gonna lie. I'm like, him playing a villain? Can I see it? But he did it. He did it, and he surprised me when I was in the theater. But all in all, I understood both perspectives and I got where each person was coming from. And I do believe after Killmonger changed T'Challa's perspective, I was more of an advocate towards T'Challa's perspective. But then I'm not going to lie to you, I understand why T'Challa didn't want to get into that, because then it's bringing harm to Wakanda. So I see all different sides and aspects of it. So let me know yours down within the comment section. So I thank you all for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Please leave your thoughts and perspectives down within the comment section, but please, let's be respectful. If you have any disagreements, that is completely okay, but we can have a healthy discussion down within the comment section. I want you all to know that you are loved by the God who created the universe. You have been made for such a special purpose. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, so do not ever forget that. I know we're in some very dark times, but continue to lean on Him through it all. So I thank you all so much, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Stay blessed, everyone.